What's up, Brian? Alright, so here's a 2010 G37 coupe. It's a 7-speed. It has stock intakes, has ISR test pipes, and it's got like a mixture of exhaust. It's got a Infiniti X pipe with resonator deletes, and it has no mufflers. So yeah, it's a weird combination, but we're gonna see what the baseline is. First, we're going to set up the rear differential as usual. Alright, so I just finished setting it up for this specific car. So 280 wheel horsepower with no tune, and 237 torque to the wheels. So this car was not tuned, like I said. Up top it was actually running pretty lean, which is why it lost some power up there. There's no need to do a second pull because obviously the customer is already driving it like that. They're already going full throttle, and if it's not too safe, then it's not something I want to do because I know that it's running lean. It was okay to do the pull, but now that we have the data to know how it's running, it's better to just not even do the pull because it's not running too safe throughout the RPM. So just the top was the worst. We're gonna see what happens now when I start actually tuning the vehicle. So after the first adjustments, we have 3 wheel horsepower peak, and then obviously we have more in the middle. And over here we have the torque, which I'm not going to count the 250 it's making at the very beginning because I usually ignore that first part. It's more about 243 right now, which is right about there. Alright, so let's see what the second adjustments do. Alright, so we're up to 285.9. I'll go ahead and clear the green line so we could see a little bit better, and the torque is about 244. So I went ahead and cleared the second run, which was the green one, and now you can see a little bit clearer on the orange one. That's the difference. I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can change and see what happens with the horsepower. Alright, so we're on the third adjustment and we're at 287 and 246 torque. I'll go ahead and clear the orange line so we can see clear. So here it is with the orange line removed. You can see more gains up there. Looks a lot clearer. And we got some more adjustments to do that I saw on there, so I'm going to go ahead and make those adjustments and see where we can get to. 290, we have 9.9 wheel horsepower peak gains. You can see the difference there. This one's even better than the last one. So every pull, we've been getting more horsepower and torque out of it. That's not always going to be the case, as every engine is different. So this one here is a good example that everything seems to be going good so far. It's doing pretty good for stock intakes. 290 wheel. The baseline was 280 with no tune. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over the log and see if there's anything else that I could do. So I've done what I think is the final adjustments for this specific vehicle. I already made the adjustments and I'm just gonna see what it does. But it's already doing really good. Let's just say the 290 happens to be the best one. That already alone, the customer will feel a really big difference. So we lost a horsepower and a half. So that actually means that we're done, because by the looks of the log, it was already doing really good. I just wanted to try out that last adjustment, and obviously the car didn't like it. So that means that the previous adjustments were the best ones for this car. So this is the final graph right here, before with no tune and after with the final tune. I did not set the arrows right here exactly where they should be. It's just off by a little bit. When I show the customer the graph, I'll put it exactly where it should be. So about 9.9, so 10 wheel horsepower gains peak, and that's just the peak. So let's just say we pick a pretty obvious spot, which is right here where the car was leaning out when it did not have a tune. So this one, for this example, I do have to put it exactly on before and after. So if you see right here at 6890 RPM, the car actually gained 16 wheel horsepower. So at this RPM, the car was making 273 wheel horsepower with no tune, and at the same RPM it's making 289 wheel horsepower. The same can be done throughout the RPM. You can just move the arrows around and see. This one's obviously going to be the biggest spot. Same with the torque. Generally the torque and the horsepower follow each other. So I can see we have 10 wheel torque peak before and after. And then somewhere in the middle, about 4,600, it looks like there's more than 10. But you guys get the idea. And right now that the tune is done, I just have to go ahead and set up the crackle map that he wanted and the flame map, and then just explain to him how everything works.